Welcome back to another Joytoy review. In this review, we're going to take a look at the last of the three Doomsday Awakening Chinese zombie animation characters made by Joytoy. This character is actually named, I'm going to give it a try here, Tai Za, maybe? First name T-I-E, last name Z-H-A. Now, if you watch the animation here on YouTube, they actually refer to this guy as Aaron in the anime. So for this review, we're going to call him Iron. I-R-O-N, Iron. So this is the box that he comes in. We have the Awakening tag here at the top on the right, with some Chinese below it. In the front of the packaging shows this very questionable character. Why do I say questionable? This guy is, I recommend you watch the series here on YouTube. The first 13 episodes. He's, in my opinion, he's a jerk throughout the series. So, and you get to see his backstory. So, he looks very, very charismatic here. So, I'm not going to say too much, I don't have any spoilers, so check that out and you'll see what I mean. Maybe, there was a character in the Joytoy lineup called Blue Falcon. If you're familiar with military terms, Blue Falcon is not your buddy, so to speak. So maybe you should have called this guy Blue Falcon, but okay. So the top and the bottom of the box just has Awakening with the Chinese on it. The side of the box has Last Awakening for some reason, and we have some Chinese throughout. Some symbols here saying no choking hazards for children under 3, don't throw away. We have some Chinese on this side. We have the Joytoy here. This is made of ABS PVC plastic. Here is a UPC, if that helps you out. These are nice collector boxes. Very cool. And this is actually all 3 of the boxes in this series, if you get in the frame. So they look really good together if you are a Mitten the Boss collector. These do come with cellophane wrapped on them. I've removed them to do a quality inspection of each figure for the reviews. So remove those out of here for now. So the boxes are nice and thick. They just slide open like this. The interior is all white. So the box, we have a piece of foam that covers up the figure. Then we have a product insert. And we have a picture of the character. Of him all geared down. So that's what he would look like. He's 10.5 centimeters, which is 1/18 scale, or, roughly 4 inches or so. But they are 1/18 scale. Here inside the box, on the left, we have his baggie of accessories. And here on the right, we have the character itself. This is just inside a nice heavy-duty box. Styrofoam cut out for the contents. Now here's our character. Now this character here is really highly detailed. This is a very cool character action figure. Lots to look at. So I'm going to do my very best to get you guys some very nice photo shots of this character here so you can see. So let's do a quick 360 and I'll go through his figure, relatively, to show you all the amazing detail the figure has. So I'm going to attempt to turn on this light so we can get some better idea of the features. So starting with his head, we do have on the back of his hat, we have a decal there. His hat is on backwards. He does have a headset with a mouthpiece. Underneath his hat, he does have a bandana. You can see the tie there underneath his cap. The hat is not removable. So this character is very interesting because his face is pretty decently, his eyes are like black outline with some very unique eyebrows. What's interesting about the character's face is his mouth. If you notice, he has the stitches on each side of his mouth, like the Joker. And there is a reason for that. And unfortunately, you have to watch the anime series to find out. But if you've seen either the Batman movie with, you kind of get an idea. Something similar happens to him, like the Joker. But that's all I'm going to say. Moving down to his vest, he's full of colors. We have, some maroon here on his vest. We have some tan for his clips. And if you look very close, he has some very small decals there. Very highly detailed. That almost looks like Hello Kitty right there. Not sure what that is. So small. There's a silver device here. Silver and some maroon on top of there. I'm hoping this is coming through for you guys. Pouch there on the side. So this is like a saw blade there. It's actually sticking out, if you can see that. A grenade there. We have a backpack. There's a radio. The pouch. I'm going to skip down to his belt real quick. Go back to his arms here shortly. His belt is actually removable. His vest is removable also, but his belt's removable and it moves around. All the contents on his belt is glued on except for this piece, this knife case. It's actually pegged through his belt. So if that falls off, don't worry. You can peg it back on. And there is a removable knife there. So while we're talking about his knife, I want to if you can see the residue on there. Through my QA inspection of the figure, I could not get this knife out. It is the same thing with the actual wrist of these characters. Paint has dried. So I heated until I got it hot enough to where the paint melted and let go. So this is going to be very difficult to get out when you get it. You got to heat it up pretty hot, get it out, and then let it sit out for a while. And because when you first pull it out, it's going to be very tacky. And let the air dry. It'll air dry. You put it back in. It's pretty tight. It's softer plastic, so the knife does bend a tad bit when you try to push it too far. It does probably need some more cleaning, but for a review, it works. Here we have some devices here on his belt. He just has some maroon stripes on his gray shirt. So this character has a unique story. Makes you hate him in the story, makes you like him, makes you not like him. I don't know. It's going to be emotional roller coaster for your actual idea for this character. You feel sorry for him at one point, you hate him at another point. It's crazy. But inside the show, without getting too into it, to explain his arms, just basically going to, they're cybernetic arms. He has cybernetic arms. There are some other characters that do have some other cybernetics. So I want to leave it at that. He does have a green watch on his arm, and his cybernetic arm is gray. We'll talk about some awesome detail. This arm here is full of tats. He does have a decal here on his hand. If you guys thought the Wasteland Hunters gentleman from that set was pretty cool, his tats, check these out. That's insane. Now remember, this is a 1/18 scale action figure. Those stats are small, man. It's so highly detailed. If you guys are seeing that, it'd be great. Yeah, that looks good right there, right? That's insane for being this scale. The level of detail in this figure is through the roof. You like the figure or not, you gotta appreciate the effort that Joytoy has put into this. Just the design and the paint and the detail is well beyond worth the money that you pay for the figure. Just amazing. You're not going to get a figure like this with this kind of detail through a big box company like Hasbro, Mattel, especially on this size. So we went on through his belt, his upper part of his body's belt. He does have blue pants on. He does have thinner legs. Here he has a holster with some tan straps. Down the side of his pants, he has yellow stripes on both sides. Okay. And at the bottom, he does have these unique sneakers on. They're tan with orange soles. The sneakers are actually in two pieces. If you would manipulate the joint, you can see it break there. So it's kind of like your Vitruvian hack's feet. Very cool. So let's take a look at the character. Man, the detail is insane. I can't get over it. These are incredibly detailed. He has some detail right on his backpack. Very incredible. I just wanted to take the time so you guys can see how amazing detail is. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off the light and take a look at his articulation. His head is on a ball joint. It does rotate and it goes up and down. It does hit his strap here at a point. So not sure why we want to go all the way around, but it will go 360 if you want to do that. His arms come up this much. They will rotate 360 all the way around if you choose to. He does have bendable elbows on his cybernetic arms. Get you 90 all day. See this hand here. This hand goes up and down. It is sticking for some reason. Okay, here we go. Goes up and down, and his hand goes in and out for the arms. He does have he has an ab crunch. The articulation is pretty much these are pretty much the same as the all Joytoy figures. There's articulation in the chest, but can't see it because of the vest. This guy sits like a champ. I mean, you can't get better than that. He does have incredible lower body articulation. Probably the best I've seen. He does have thigh articulation here, that you anti-swivel, and he will swivel here at his crotch area, but you got to hold that small piece to turn this lower thigh. He has double jointed knees. It's insane. Now, it does not come with replacement knee joints, so highly recommend you check your joints before you manipulate them. Heat them up. Even they break, there's no fixing this one. And his feet do pivot down, like so, and up, and they do rotate if you desire. It's there for you. The option's there for you. I'm just using caution, guys, on the force here, because this is a brand new figure. I have heated it. What I did notice in some of the figures, even though you heat them and you go back to them later, they could possibly get a little more stiff again. And it may take, some heating, playing, etc. to get this, your figures to be, worry-free, but you still always want to use caution. Because you always got normal wear and tear. So here what he looks like with the female figure. This is what he looks with Ma-san. I have the other two reviews up for the female and Ma-san. When you're watching watching this video, you'll know. You can go back and check those out if you want to. So my QA inspection of this, like I said, was pretty good. Nothing major stood out to me. I heated the joints, and the shoulder's a little stiff, and the knife's the issue on the back, the knife. So be careful of that, because the harder you pull, you can stretch the knife out, stretch the plastic. Okay, with that being said, let's take a look at his accessories. They did come in this plastic little bag. Okay, I'm trying to get it all out, stuck in there. It sticks on the sticky part. So in here, you're going to get a shoulder joint. You're going to get a very small brown joint. Let's see what this is. This looks like, what is this? An elbow joint, but it's not gray. It sure looks like an elbow joint to me. You know what that might be? That may be an ankle. It's small. Let's see here. Very much could be an ankle joint. Yeah, that's an ankle joint. This brown one here. And then we have a gray one here for an elbow. So you're going to place an elbow joint or shoulder joint and an ankle joint. No knees. So be very careful. Or you do get another set of hands. You get a closed fist hand and a gripping hand. You do get a pistol. You do get a pair of glasses. Very small here. They have a yellow lenses with a black frame. He does come with an assault rifle. I think where his figure is amazing, like I said, I think what he missed something was, if you look at this, if they'd have put those decals on his weapon, like they did his body armor here, that would really sold his figure, full. So I kind of missed on that. At least for, that one. I mean, if they went to the, trouble putting those on, man, they really sold this figure pretty good. Okay, so first off, let's take a look and see if we can get his glasses on. Let's bring that light back. So let's see how these fit. So this is actually the first time I'm actually putting his glasses on. And best I can tell, they fit very nicely. You fit over his ear, look at that. That's pretty wild. And obviously it says pretty good over that mouthpiece, headpiece there. But I did notice there is some paint imperfections. Right on his glasses. Some black. So it gets smeared on there. Unfortunately. But he looks good overall. So for his holster, so he does come, that holster looks awful big for his little pistol. It fits. Looks like it's a little bigger than it should be. But there's his pistol. Let's see if we can get him to hold his pistol. He does have a trigger finger there. Not too bad. Pretty cool. What this figure is definitely a lot to look at. So I'll go ahead and move that. And we'll try to put his assault rifle in his hand. Don't worry about maybe, from the moisture of your hands or the salt of your, maybe one day it may affect those decals on his arm. So might want to be careful. Or, rubbing on his weapon. Might want to be careful if you want to keep your figure in a nice looking shape there. Does hold his assault rifle pretty good. Yeah, if he had those decals on there, that would have been amazing. I guess they would have been on the inner side of the gun here. Yeah, I'm not going to try out there. I did have to do the same thing. They do turn, it's just don't want to mess with them. But you can hold your gun with both hands if you wanted to. No problem. It's pretty wild how these glasses stay on his head pretty nicely. So here you go. Here's Moss on. Take a look at all three of them together. Try not to touch his head because he has like 3 pieces on his head. All the pieces will fall off if he falls. There he goes. Here's the female character. She stands really well. Oh no, we didn't mess up too bad, I guess. I thought for sure that would fall off. His glasses fell. That's your 3 characters there. Sure if I can get closer. So there we go. And this is how they compare with a other Joytoy figure. So they compare to a Chiacho, the Baroness. And this obviously compares with Scarlet. And it's for fun. Here's a Vitruvian Hex Amazon Warrior. So you could definitely use these characters in any of your universes, in other brands. So very cool. And I'll tell you what, since this is our third and last video for the Awakening figures, just for fun, let's see how it looks with the Crazy Reload SUV. They're pretty sweet. The reason I brought this actually in, and this is kind of like a little bonus for you guys. Probably wondering, what does that even mean, right? Well, what I mean by that is, when I watched the series on YouTube here, I thought I for sure seen in one of the actual, I'm just gonna say garage, whatever it was, I've seen a tan version of this, all like, with no tires on it, kind of like with the front end up in the air, because they are releasing a repaint of this as a desert one. So that makes me wonder, did Joytoy actually, is this what Joytoy actually came up with? The design for the Crazy Reload SUV was from this series. Now the vehicle that they travel with in the small group, they don't travel in anything that looks like the Crazy Reload SUV, but I could have swore I seen the front of that is pretty distinctive. So if you guys watch the Doomsday Awakening series, and that's one of those mid episodes, 6, 7. Actually, myself, I want to find some time. I want to go back and see if I can find it again. See if you guys can find it. Kind of like a little mystery hunt for you guys. And if you find it, down in the comments, go ahead and let me know where you found it, what episodes you found it in. Maybe put down the time of the video. That way others can find out and go and take a look at it if they can't find it. And if I get a chance to, maybe I'll do it. I'll put it in the comments. I'll give you guys some time. And, who else can find it. But I found that interesting. That's probably where they got the design idea for this thing. I thought it was kind of cool little bonus. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this review. I hope that they actually continue to make more characters from this Chinese anime. There's actually several good characters. There's another female character that has jacket on. I like to have that character as a figure. And there's, my son here has 4 people at the end, who he's traveling with, and it is not her. So maybe they get together in further episodes, but for the first 13 episodes that I've seen on YouTube, there's these 2. Another guy, and I think his name, they call him Chicken, and He Ming. Now that He Ming dude is really cool. You check him out. Like, his waist is interesting. I'm not gonna get into too much, but if they make that figure, wow, that's gonna be an interesting on how they sculpt that figure. But that's something to see. Even I seen a zombie, a football zombie player would be pretty cool to get that. So hopefully I intrigued you guys and made you interested in going and check out this anime series. It's really cool. I think you'll enjoy it. If I mentioned or not, it's done in Chinese language, but it has English subtitles. it's not very hard to follow. So, lastly, I just want to talk about price. If you guys are interested, I didn't talk about price in the first 2 videos, so in this video, I'm going to just give you guys a heads up. So individually, if you can buy these figures individually, they're around an average of $30. I've seen them, $29.99 to $32, and of course, you get on eBay, it can be whatever. But on an average from a retailer, you can get them on $30 a piece if you buy them individually. So if you do enjoy it, you do want all 3 of these figures, you can buy them as a set. But you're getting sending you all 3 boxes basically, and you want to save. I seen them from anywhere from like $86 to $80, $80. Yeah, $80 to $85, I think. So you're going to save, a few dollars if you buy all 3. It's a set. So if you're interested in all 3, look for the set. If you just want one of the figures, obviously you're going to pay around $30 or so as a price tag. So hopefully that helps you guys out deciding if you want to invest in these figures. If you want to invest in Joytoy figures, I highly recommend you do. They're for collectors. They're not for children. You have to be careful with them. Once you get them in, use a little more effort than just taking them out of package and going with them. You got to take them out of package, do some work with them, heat them up a little bit, clean them up, make sure everything's good to go. It is what it is. Marauders the same way. They want you to heat the figures. I've seen several different companies now are doing that. But in all, Vitruvian Hacks got the best quality plastic. You don't have to worry about heating anything. So kudos to them. So if you guys like this video, please consider subscribing. I'd really appreciate it. If you have already subscribed, thank you so much for your support. And if you can share this video with your friends, maybe get them to subscribe for me, I'd appreciate that. Or share or like the video. That'd be much appreciated. Thank you guys for watching. Happy hunting, happy collecting, and we'll see you in the next review.